All right. Hey guys, this will be part 2 of the video. We're going to start with number 15 on the study guide. Okay, you have 44 text messages in your inbox. Your inbox is 88% full. How many messages can your cell phone hold? So we are 88%. Write that as a fraction, 88% out of 100. And it says you have 44 text messages in your inbox. I want to know how many it can hold. So we are going to find the whole 44 out of how many. We're going to solve this just like before. 88 times x and 100 times 44. Use your calculator and solve for x by doing the inverse, dividing by 88. So your answer should be 50. So your inbox is 44, has 44 out of 50 messages. You can do 44 divided by 50, and that should give you 0.88, which is 88%. Okay, identify the percent of change as an increase or decrease, then find the percent of change, round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. So for 16 through 19, guys, remember, percent of change is change over the original, okay? So from 8 inches to 24 inches, that is a change of 16 inches. 24 minus 8 is 16 over the original. The original was 8 inches. So when you're showing your work, 16 over 8, obviously that is 2. You're going to change that into a percent. 2 wholes is what percent? 200%. And that going from 8 to 24, that is an increase. So that's a 200% increase. Number 17, from 300 miles to 210 miles, the change would be 90 miles over the original is 300 miles. Put that into your calculator, 90 divided by 300, we're going to get 0.3. What percent is that? Move that decimal twice to the right. That's a 30%. It's going from 300 to 210, so that's a decrease. 18, 24 songs to 78 songs. The difference of 24 to 78 is 54 is the difference. Over the original of 24, put that in your calculator, 54 divided by 24, you're going to get 2.25. What percent is that? 225% increase since we're going from 24 to 78. And 19, from 10 gallons to 24 gallons, from the difference or the change from 10 to 24 is 14 gallons. Over the original is 10 gallons. That's 1.4. As a percent, that's 140%. Move the decimal twice to the right. From 10 to 24, that's an increase. So 140% increase. 20, you estimate that your friend is 50 inches tall. The actual height of your friend is 54 inches tall. Find the percent of error. Those are in your notes as well. Percent of error is the amount of error over the actual. So the error from 50 inches to 54 inches, that's an error of 4 inches. The actual height of your friend is 54 inches. Put that into your calculator. 4 divided by 54 is 0.074. Change that decimal into a percent. 7.4% was the error. Find the original price, the discount, the sale price, or the selling price. Okay, so on 21, the original price is 30%. You have a 10% discount. Find the sale price. Okay, so $30 is the price. We get a 10% discount. So 30 times 0.10 is $3. And it's a discount, so we're going to subtract it. The original price was $30. We get a discount of $3. Therefore, the original cost is $27. 22, the original price is $55. We're trying to find the discount. The sale price is $46.75. Okay, you're going to want to do the change over the original, just like we did above. From 55 to 46.75, that is a change of $8.25. The original price was $55. If you put that into your calculator, you get 0.15. So what's the discount? 15%. Number 23, the original price, we're not quite sure. We know the discount and we know the sale price. On this one, if the discount is 75%, what do we have to pay? We're paying 25% of the price. So we're going to do the opposite on here. So we're going to do 25% of some number that we're not quite sure of is $74.75. That's the way I would solve this one. So then to solve for n, do the inverse and divide by 25% or 0.25. So n is 74.75 divided by 0.25 is $299. And again, you can always go back and check that out. $299, take off 75%, multiply by 0.75, and see if it makes sense. Number 24, cost to store is $152. We're going to mark it up 50%, find the selling price. So $152 is the price to the store. We're going to mark it up 50%. So we're going to change that percent into a decimal, which is 0.50. And if you do 152 times 0.50 on your calculator, you're going to get $76. And this is a markup. So go back to your original price, 152, and add that markup of $76, and you'll get $228. Okay, on the next section, we're going to do simple interest. Find the interest earned, the principal, the rate, or the time. I highly suggest that you start every single time with I equals PRT. We're trying to find the I on this one, so we're just solving by multiplying. The principal is $1,200. The rate is 2%. Remember, we always turn these into decimals, 0.02 for 5 years. So 1,200 times 0.02 times 5, you'll get $120 is the interest. 26, it gives you the interest this time. I equals PRT. We're going to put in 25 for the interest, 500 for the principal. Interest rate, 5% is written 0.05. And I'm trying to figure out how many years. Multiply what you do know. 500 times 0.05 to get 25T equals 25. Okay. Divide, do the inverse to get your time by itself, which is obviously 1, and we're going to label it year. Remember, the time is always in years. 27, I equals PRT. It gives us our interest again, so put in 76 for the interest. The principal is 800. We don't know our rate. We do know 2 years. Multiply what you do know. 800 times 2 is 1,600 times some rate gives us 76. Do the inverse and divide by 1,600 to get that R by itself. When you do that, 76 divided by 1,600, we get 0.0475. Remember that you must go back and turn this into a percent now, which is 4.75% is your rate. 28, the interest earned is $119.88. We don't know our principal. We do know the interest rate is 3.6%. Move that decimal twice to the left to get 0.036. We do know 3 years. We're going to multiply what we do know. 0.036 times 3 is 0.108 times whatever the principal is, gives us $119.88. Do the inverse and divide. Oops. Divide by 0.108. So our principal gives us $1,110. Now just remember, it did not ask us to go back and find the total to be repaid, but if it did, you would add your interest plus your principal. Interest plus principal is the interest to be repaid or the interest earned. Okay. Number 29. Two ways to own a saxophone. Option one, $75 cash back with 3.5% simple interest. Option two, no interest for 2 years. Okay, you're always going to want something that has no interest, which means you don't have any money to pay back for it. But let's go ahead and look at both of these. A saxophone costs $1,200. A store offers 2 loan options. Which option saves more money if you pay the loan in 2 years? So over here, we'll write option 1. And option 1 is this up here. We know it's $1,200. And we know we're going to pay it back in 2 years. So I'm going to start with I equals PRT. So the interest, we're obviously not quite sure of. We do know that the principal, what we're paying for the saxophone is $1,200. The rate is 3.5. Move that twice to the left, 0.035. And it says for 2 years. When you do 1,200 times 0.035 times 2, the interest is $84 for this saxophone. So that means that you have to pay $1,200 for the saxophone plus $84 in interest after the 2 years, which means you have to pay back $1,284 for option 1. Option 2, change colors here, it says no interest for 2 years. If there's no interest, guys, this $84 means you don't have to pay that back. So there's nothing that you have to pay back. You just have to pay back the $1,200 for the saxophone. As long as you have it paid back within the 2 years, you don't have to owe any more money. They're not charging you interest. So this is the better deal. It's going to save you money. Okay. And then you borrow $200. The simple interest rate is 12%. You pay off the loan after 2 years. How much do you pay for the loan? Okay, I equals PRT. Okay, how much do you pay for the loan? So the principal, we're borrowing money, $200. The interest rate is 12%, which means 0.12. Change that into a percentage, the percent into a decimal, after 2 years. If you do 200 times 0.12 times 2, you're going to get $48. So how much do you pay for the loan? The 200 that you borrowed plus the 48 interest is $248. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Tomorrow your test will be on Canvas. Directions will be on Canvas tomorrow. The test is only going to be open for tomorrow, so make sure that you are submitting it tomorrow. You're getting on tomorrow. You're taking your time, using your notes. Use that calculator. Double check your work before you press submit.